that Tony Horner that I see? Is that Tony? Hey, Tony, can you hear me? Okay, Marina, maybe you could let everyone have some sound. Hi, Brent. Good to see you, Brent. So good to see you.
Hi, Bob.
Hi there. Is your
John?
Tanzania guy going to be able to get on?
I was just texting him. He was supposed to be on shortly.
Whoa, wonderful, wonderful. Is he already signed up?
Not quite, but hopefully soon. Hopefully this is what changes everything.
Okay. Okay, good. I have to check one thing here and then we're going to roll. We'll have Nancy prayer. Nice to see you, Tony. Good. I'm going to text our speaker and see if he's okay.
I gave him the wrong number.
I should finish cooking. My burger that I'm making. I think I love it with what?
Okay, well, welcome everyone. We're so happy to have all of you. It's great to see you all this morning. And we've got some fantastic content for you. A very, very special gifted speaker has agreed to share with us this morning. And we're going to start with Nancy, a dear friend from Grants Pass. Nancy is an executive manager, and she is going to open in prayer and ask God for his help in our session, our time together. So Nancy, would you go ahead and pray, please?
Yes, dear Lord, we just come to you this morning. We thank you for this beautiful day, and it's a beautiful day because you made it, Lord. In spite of all that is swirling and going on around us, Lord, we know that you are our anchor, and we hold fast to you, Lord, in these troubled times, Lord. We just thank you for this opportunity to meet together and to bless one another. Thank you that we're like family, even though we're far apart, we are together. And we just thank you that for the common thread, Lord, that you are in the center of all and over everything. And Lord, we love you and just ask that you would guide and direct this meeting today, Lord, according to your plan and purpose. And may it bless all who are participating. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Nancy. And that's where our strength is. I really need God's help all the time. So thank you. I need it incredibly. Well, we are going to start with some wins, and then we'll go to some announcements, and then we'll bring our guest speaker on. And what a win is, that's just 30 to 60 seconds of something from your personal life or your business. Either one, doesn't matter. We're happy to hear either, but just 30 to 60 seconds. We'll have 2 or 3 or 4 people share. And so I should probably start with that. I have 2 I'll mention, and I hope to interview Joanne a little bit later. She's on the call. We have a brand new executive manager in our team. So that's a big win. There's our wonderful speaker coming on. There's Dwight. Joanne Washington made executive manager. So we'll hear from her hopefully a little bit later. One other win I have is I met with another member of the Chamber of Commerce this week, and it's just to teach each other a little bit about each other's business. But it turns out that this business owner, she's a realtor. She has a lot of pain in her hips, in her hands, and so she's very interested in the product. So that was a nice thing. Does anyone else have a 30 to 60 second win they would like to share?
I do.
Okay, go for it, Les.
Okay, so I just want to encourage people to never give up. One of our people has been A distributor, I'm guessing maybe even 35 years. And this person would get a little bit here or there, never really got too involved. Health issues came up with the family and with her husband, and they just had to get more serious. Money was always super tight and everything. But between Bob working with them some, and sure appreciate that, Bob, and a long conversation we had recently, she bought $1,000 worth of stuff. And she got her husband on 18 salmon oil a day. He's got a lot of pain, and they depend on him for building and just working on the roof and
Yeah,
things like that, because they have a
I'm very
farm.
happy also to be also the part of this one. So
Can you guys still hear me?
we're going to do something which is great.
I can hear you, Les.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so don't ever give up on people. Keep being friends and loving them through the years. And it's sad when people have to get really, really sick to, finally jump in, but just be there for them when they need you.
Okay, congratulations, Les. That's great. That's fantastic. Allison, could you share, take 30 to 60 seconds and share about Dorothy's results?
Yes. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon from New York. This is Allison. I've signed up one promoter. She was sitting on the sideline for months and months and months, and finally she got on board. And she had abnormal blood glucose level and abnormal blood pressure. Surprisingly, within 2 weeks, she got results. The only way I found out she got results, she shared with me that she used to have trouble walking. She felt lethargic. Now she has energy. She's exercising. She even shared with me that she was sleeping with her doors unlocked of the fear of dying. She felt like she was going to die, and she didn't want the fire truck, the fire department, to break into her home. Now, thanks be to God, she has made significant improvement in 2 weeks. She has signed up one promoter, and she is speaking to persons to have a meeting Monday night with Bob. So to God be the glory, and thank you, Bob, and thank you, team.
Wow, that is fantastic. Wow, already signed up a promoter. That's incredible. Thank you, Allison, for talking to her and sharing with her and persisting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else have a win they'd like to share?
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Brent from Ontario, Canada. Hopefully my guest is on. His name is Shabina Ali from Tanzania. So I want to welcome him to the group and hopefully get some valuable information today.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what his title is on the name. There's so many different names. I'm not sure which one it is, but I think he's on.
Okay. Yeah, I think he is too. I think I saw him. So we're very international today. We have Canada, Tanzania, Africa, and USA. So that's great. Thank you, Brent.
My win is, hi, Dwight. Congratulations for number 11.
Hi there, John. Good to see you again.
Okay, any other wins? John and Debbie had a really good month, by the way. They were up to about 14,000. So that's some nice volume there, some very nice volume. Anybody else have a win? And then I'll do announcements and we'll go to Dwight.
Yes, Bob, I have a win. Hi.
Hi, Barbara.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, I'll be off and on because I had to come into work this morning, didn't have a replacement. So I'm here.
Okay.
My win was for the month that I had a gentleman who was helping me on finances for a year, etc. We spoke about it. And I sent him I think it was the Impact, the one with Alan Blaine, one of the videos. Yeah, and he loved it so much. And Impact and Income, or Income and Impact, I can't remember which one. Anyhow, he called me and told me he's ready to sign up. And I said, which one? And he said, promoter. So he bought 2 products, but a case of the 2. So hooray! Yay. So
Fantastic.
guys, it took it about a year for him to come on, but I keep just, talking to him about it. So just want to share that.
Thank you, Barbara. Barbara is extraordinarily good at that. I have a challenge with being able to keep following up and maintaining contact, but Barbara's very good at that. And look how it paid off. So that's good. Anybody else have a win before we go to announcements? Thank you, Barbara.
Welcome.
Okay, well then we're going to get to announcements here. There's about 4 of them, and I hope you have your pin because these are very, very important. I just wanted you guys to know that every Tuesday at 6 p.m. West Coast time, there's a 30-minute presentation. It's done by Alan Blaine. Alan is extremely gifted businessman and communicator. They've had fabulous results in their family with the products. And so every Tuesday at 6 p.m. West Coast time, the way you get on that, you go to zoomhealthtalk.com and register. Okay, so that's just a 30-minute presentation, very superb, excellent. Then every Wednesday at 5:30, there's 1 hour training. It's pretty much the same each time because it's designed for you to bring your prospects to that. That training at 5:30, product training is 963-644-1807 is the Zoom, and the password is ATP, all lowercase. The point of these Tuesday and Wednesday presentations that I just gave you, I'll give you an example. There's a 3-diamond team in California that how that team was largely built is Bob Shar announced that every Wednesday he was going to do a presentation at this location and that people could bring people every week and he would help build their business by doing the presentation. So there's one lady, her name was Joanne Martins. She was a homemaker at the time. She ended up being 3-diamond, one of the biggest teams in the whole company. And every week she was the only one that showed up with a new guest. Every week. So if you guys make your list of names of people you want to introduce to our products and our business, and then every Tuesday at 6 p.m., there's a 30-minute presentation you can bring your prospect to. Every Wednesday at 5:30 p.m., there's an hour training, and you can bring your prospects to them and build a team. Because after the presentation, you just called them, you said, what did you like best? What seemed most relevant to you? Do you have any questions? And talk to them and answer their questions. If they want to try, get on the product, you take them to your website and you can build an organization that way using these every Tuesday at 6, every Wednesday at 5:30. Today from 11 to 12, we have a very gifted product trainer from our team. Her name is Debbie Muzak, and she's a very gifted nutritionist. And she's going to be training. That session will go 11 to 12. I may be doing part of that as well, but 11 to 12, at 11, Debbie will come on, and the Zoom code for that is 963-644-1807. And the password to get in is ATP, all lowercase. So on this training here that we do the first Saturday of every month, it's not super heavy in product training. It's more for people who want to develop a second income source is primarily what it's for. This morning, we're going to have some excellent product stories from Dwight. But the one from 11 to 12, the first Saturday of each month, is all intense product training. Now, the last thing before I introduce our speaker, Marina, can you do a share screen with me by any chance so I can show one picture? Is that possible?
Yeah, so you'll just hit share screen at the bottom.
Okay.
Button.
Okay. All right. So before I bring Dwight on, this is our last announcement. And this here is an event that's coming up very soon. And outside of convention, if you talk to the most successful people in the company, they'll probably tell you the most important thing to do for having a successful business would be go to the NeoLife convention, because there you get to meet the owner, the CEO, the scientists, and lots of people. It's very impacting. But outside of that, if you talk to Dwight or Alan or Josh Clark or Jerry Brassfield, they'll say that where the leaders are made is either at convention or at these 3-day events like is on the screen right now. And fortunately, the Wisdom Builders team that Dwight is part of and the Bald Eagle team, they've been very kind to allow us to come to their events. So if you are someone who wants to have a business that impacts a large amount of people and helps in a very significant way, either health wise, physical wise, or financial, you need, it's absolutely essential actually to get to these events. And so the deadline for this event, which is the last 3 days of October, is September 15th. So see me about getting your registration in. It's critical that you be there if you want to have a large, successful business that impacts lots of people's health and gives you an excellent income. It's very important to be at this event. The people who are going to be there, this right here is John Miller. He's our Vice President of Science and Technology. Phenomenal, phenomenal speaker. This is the owner of the company, Jerry Brassfield. This is the CEO, Kendra. This gentleman here has a hilarious story, which I was telling to Dwight the other day. This man here was fired by this man here. Jerry Brassfield owns this company and Charlie was on staff, and Jerry fired him because he said he had no potential. He told me that himself. So this is not something I heard from someone else. Jerry told me he fired Charlie because he had no potential. Well, Charlie then became a distributor. And just to save a little, I'll tell you, he had 4 kids at the time that were home and he could barely put food on the table. They about starved. And so many times he thought about quitting the NeoLife business and going to get a job. But he said, thank God I did not. Because Charlie, I've been told Charlie makes around 100,000, maybe more per month. And Charlie is a 5 diamond. Okay, Dwight says more. I don't know if it would be 200, Dwight, or very large amounts. Anyway, he's the biggest in the world.
At least $500,000 a month.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah, he's the largest distributor in NeoLife from my understanding.
Right. And about half of the 5 diamonds in the whole company are in his team, and about half of the 1 diamonds, I were told, are in his team. And Charlie is scheduled to be at this event. So, and this, for those of you who don't know Louis, because we have new people on here, Louis was terminal cancer case at age 31. And he got introduced to our product. And after they sent him home to die, and he got on our product and started juicing and changed his diet. In his first 30 days, his cancer count fell 50% just in 30 days. He's been cancer-free 31 years. So the speakers at this thing are going to just blow your mind. And so I want to strongly encourage you. The validation of how this is so important is the people in our team who have the largest, most financially successful and the most successful at reaching a lot of people with our products, which is the goal, to improve their health. That is the goal. The people who have the largest businesses within our team they're the ones who have been to the most either Wisdom Builder events or Bald Eagle events like this. So if you're not registered yet, please get registered in the next 2 weeks. This happens the last 3 days of October, and it's very, very critical for your success. It's very impacting. You'll hear great nutrition speakers and business ideas. Phenomenal. So now we're going to switch gears, and I'll introduce our speaker. And Dwight is a very unusual, remarkable individual. He's been kind enough and gracious enough to share his expertise and wisdom with us. He and I were talking about 2 days ago, and just in his own family, his own story, which you're going to hear today, health story. His sister-in-law's had a story. His niece's hair fell out, and she's a beautiful gal, and her hair came back in thanks to the product. And then he has 2 nieces or nephews that came partly because of NeoLife. He was telling me, I'd forgot all about that. So just from his own family, not even talking about his team, he's had phenomenal results. And you can hear really exciting health and nutrition product stories this morning from Dwight. And then secondly, he'll share why now is a really critical time to reach other people with what we have to offer financially, because a lot of people are losing jobs because of vaccine mandates. So he'll share that. Now, on Dwight, he spends almost no time at all, if I understood him correctly, on NeoLife, because he has a large, beautiful, wonderful family. And he started a company from the ground up that runs as high as, depending on time of year, as high as 25 employees. So that's a big job. But although he spends almost no time now, about 15 to 20 years ago, he sponsored some great people over the years, and they're very effectively talking to other people. And I gotta tell you, he has a 26-year-old in his team who has 3 little kids working part-time from home that's bringing in around somewhere around 100 grand a year, a 26-year-old mom with 3 little kids. And Dwight, last month, in spite of not being involved heavily with the company because of other obligations, Dwight's team sold well over 100,000 PV last month. So you guys, this is a major, major special treat that Dwight would take the time to share with us. He has lots of insights because he's a gifted businessman. He loves the product, and let's give him just the warmest welcome. We're so fortunate to have him. Let's welcome Dwight Johnson from Bend, Oregon. Thank you, Dwight.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you and all that you add to this this NeoLife family. And one of the things Bob said, we're wisdom builders, and the Bald Eagle team are really excited to have you guys come to our events. It's because we get so much out of you guys too. We love the relationship. We love the conversations around the table. We love, I mean, John's my, John and I see the Hanson clan, the ones back Midwest that we did leadership school together, and they're my leadership school buddies, and we had an absolute blast. And as you're going to see with this company, there's so many fun events that we get to do. And that was the one thing I told my wife I would do, was the events, because they're so fun. I'm like, I will do the events. And unfortunately, if you keep going to Lisa, there you are. I knew I saw you somewhere. But if you keep going to those events, you meet really, really fun people, number one. And then number two, you can't help but get excited about what NeoLife is doing. You can't help but it just changes your perspective. I got to change the screen here because it's showing my face right in my face, and I don't like looking at me. So there we go. Perfect. So I like looking at you guys. So anybody there who wants to turn on your screen, go ahead and turn on your screen. Let's have some good time here. I just wanted to say thank you, Bob, for letting me come on this call. I really appreciate everything you're doing with NeoLife. I love seeing that we have so many different countries represented here. That's what's exciting to me, is we're going to change people's lives all over the globe. And when I hear Barbara talking about that person she'd been working on for a year, well done, Barbara. That's what we do. We change lives one at a time. It's one person at a time, making an impact in that person's life and changing their life forever. And I think a lot of people come into this thinking, I'm going to change the world. And I go, the way you change the world is by changing your neighbor's life, by changing your family member's life. And slowly over that, you end up changing a whole lot of lives, because once you've had your life impacted by the product, it's hard not to share the product. And that was my story. Bob wanted me to share my story. And I love sharing my story because I was doing craft shows. I sell metal yard art, and I was making good money doing it, but I was killing my health. I was doing fast food, Dr. Pepper, pulling all-nighters, trying to get to the next show. And I ran my health into the dirt. And that's when I was open to hearing about these nutritional products, because I've been going to GNC. I've been going to all these different health food stores trying to get my health back. My health was completely shot, so bad that I couldn't get out of bed. I was exhausted. I was 26 years of age, which is really young to be exhausted. And I had boils on my legs, really painful boils. I mean, I went and read Job 3 times going, what causes boils? You know, what's going on here? What am I doing wrong? And I tried all different kinds of nutritional products, and they seemed to just make the problem worse, not better. And I found out later why that was. Most supplements out there are synthetic at best, and they are harmful to our bodies. They're not benefiting us. You know, I have an optometrist here in Bend who will tell you when you're taking Costco salmon oil, because there's a chemical film that builds up on your eyeballs, and he could see it as an optometrist. It's the chemical that they use to extract the fish oil. And can you imagine what it's doing to the 73 trillion cells in your body? I mean, it's wrecking you. And so I tell people all the time, if you're not going to take NeoLife, just try to eat healthy. Like, don't take these other supplements. There's a reason why doctors will tell you, if they're going to put you on a med, not to take supplements. I've never heard them say stop eating zucchini, stop eating carrots, stop eating, good healthy food, but they'll tell you not to do the supplements because there's been multiple studies where people like Toronto Star, Chicago Tribune, there was a Canadian paper that went and put independent products through independent labs. And they said a lot of them were laced with prescription sedatives, prescription drugs. In fact, GNC just got caught for lacing some of their supplements knowingly via internal emails with different drugs. And if you think about it, if a doctor's giving you a drug and you're getting drugs in your supplement and don't know it, there could be all kinds of side effects. And so that's why they say stop taking them. They just don't know what's in them. And so when every doctor I've had look at NeoLife, they go, you know what? Take all you want. Take all you want. Load up on that. You're going to be just fine. And so that's why I realized later the information I was getting from GNC in the health food store, it wasn't that the employee was a bad employee. They just didn't know what they're talking about. They didn't know what they're talking about. And they gave me really cruddy supplements, synthetic vitamin E. They gave me all kinds of stuff that was not helping. And what was awesome is when Alan came to town, I was very skeptical because I tried a lot of different supplements, but I'd seen pictures of his wife, who Alan Blaine is my cousin, and he had been posting on family emails. This is how desperate they were with health problems. They were posting in family emails all of his wife's problems. And a lot of them were feminine issues. So me being a single guy at 26, I kind of just deleted those emails because I didn't really want to hear all the different things that were going on in my cousin's wife's life. And I didn't have any answers. I didn't have my own health. And so when he came to town and I saw the before pictures and after pictures of Nicole, because they've been posting family photos for years, I was shocked at the transformation in her life. And when I heard that all of her female issues and her depression and her anxiety and all those things were gone, I went, you know what? Maybe they can help me with my lack of sleep and boils and my inability to get out of bed in the morning. So I showed up skeptical, but I showed up. And I loved how Alan talked about the science. And Bob, you're 100% correct. If you could get people on those 6 o'clock Tuesday calls, do it. Yes. Do it. And what's awesome is, unlike the old school where you had to go to a certain location in order to see the call, you could be doing this from Canada and from Africa and from all these other countries. You could zoom into these calls and you could be building a business globally with these presentations. But we did it in my brother-in-law Rudy's living room. And we sat down and I listened to him talk about Dr. Arthur First and John Miller and the Scientific Advisory Board and all the research they had done, the carotenoids boosting immunity 37.6% in 20 days, reducing oxidative damage to cells by 44%. And I went, okay, I know this stuff is legit. I know this stuff is real. How can it help me? And I loved Alan's answer because unlike Bob Pearson, who has a wealth of information, Alan was very new at it and he didn't know anything. And he just smiled and goes, Dwight, I don't know if it will help you, but I do know it will boost immunity. I do know it will give you more energy. I do know you will experience benefits. And so I got on the product and I started taking it. And within 3 days, the pain in my boils started to go away. The boils were still there, but the pain started to go away. And that was a big deal to me. And I also noticed I was sleeping really good at night, like drool on my pillow sleep, really sound sleep. And I wake up in the morning energized and not like Dr. Pepper energy where you're sitting there shaking like this. It was a stable energy that lasted all through the day. And within a month, my boils were gone, completely gone. You could see a little bit of the scarring from them, but they were gone. And Alan was faithful to call me like every 3 days. How are you feeling? And I'm like, I'm feeling better, but I don't know. It could be a fluke. It could be a fluke. I was very skeptical. And after a month, I knew it wasn't a fluke. I knew these products were doing what they promised they would do. And I was so excited, I couldn't stop sharing it with people around me. And my brother-in-law, who later we found out probably should have introduced us to NeoLife because Bob Pearson had helped him back when he and his beautiful wife, my sister, Carla, could not get pregnant. So 5 years, they wanted to get pregnant. They went to doctors, they tried to figure it out. They did all kinds of health stuff. Nothing was working for them. And so Bob Pearson, a guy I had not met at that time, had met them and told them, take this vitamin E. I think it can help you. And I'm not sure, Bob, if you put them on other things, but the vitamin E is what they swear by. They say he put us on this vitamin E, and along came my niece, Emily, not much longer after. I mean, it was very quickly. It was a miracle. They, being good Americans, put it on the shelf and forgot about it, because we as in America only do things if we have to. We're very lazy. And they put it back on the shelf. They forgot all about it and they moved on with life. Well, they couldn't get pregnant 2.5 years later. They still couldn't get pregnant. And then they remembered, oh, Bob Pearson gave us this vitamin E. So they went and got the bottle out and ordered another bottle, and they got pregnant with Miles. And so I jokingly tell my sister that she has reverse birth control. You know, most people take a pill to stop birth. She takes a pill to have a child. It's the opposite effect, because if she takes that vitamin E, they're very fertile, and they've gone on to have 6 wonderful children, and the NeoLife has changed their health. But I didn't even know this story until after I'd signed Rudy up, and he's looking at the bottle and he's going GNLD, GNLD, because for a while there, the company was called GNLD, and Bob had signed, or not signed him up, but had given him the salmon oil, vitamin E, back when it was NeoLife. So it took a while for us to put the connection together, but I tell Bob all the time, I probably should be on your team, because because you are the one who changed my sister's life. And unfortunately, Carla and Rudy didn't tell me. I hadn't heard anything about it, or it would have saved me a lot of pain and suffering. And what's funny is I hear people all the time telling me, you know, I'm nervous of sharing this with my friends and family because they might, you know, it might hurt relationships. Well, if you do it really wrong, you could hurt a relationship. But if you do it because you care about them and you love them, and this is a product that you've seen benefits from, I've actually been scolded by more people for not sharing the product than for sharing it. I've run into people at convention that I've known for 20 years, and they had no clue I was doing NeoLife, and they flogged me because I didn't tell them about this product sooner. You know, my joke is everybody wishes they would have heard about NeoLife 5 years earlier.
Right.
And so we're doing them a disservice by not sharing it with them today. You know, and in Barbara's case, in a lot of our case, it may take some time for them to come on board, but at least we've given them the option. And so Carla and Rudy got on the product again, and it really helped them in a lot of different ways. But then Janice was the other story that Bob wanted me to share real quick. And Janice, mother of 11, amazing woman. Most people meet her today, they have no clue she's had 11 children. She's in her 50s and she looks like she's in her 20s. She's absolutely amazing, fit, just very outgoing and fun, but it radically changed her life with varicose veins. In her 5th or 6th pregnancy, she's living in Colorado, and her varicose veins were so bad that even my brother Chad, who wants more kids than anybody on the planet, was questioning whether they should continue having kids because her varicose veins were so painful. She was literally bedridden for the last 5 months of the pregnancy. I mean, it was really bad. Elevated legs, just trying to keep her legs from exploding. It was just really painful. She'd heard about it about the time I heard about it. I called her back up in Chad and said, you guys got to get on this stuff. The vitamin E does amazing thing for circulation. You got to start taking this product and take it aggressively. And they listened to Chad listened to his little brother, which is not that common that you'll listen to your little brother, but he did listen. And he also went and researched like crazy because he thought it was another scam. He had been involved in scams before, and he's like, I'm not interested. Once he saw what it did to his wife's legs, that changed his tune a bit, because they went on to have 5 or 6 more children after that, and the pregnancies were better than the previous. So normally pregnancies kind of get a little worse. They don't have to. They don't have to. If we give our bodies what it needs, you know, John Miller did an awesome talk on the body's ability to regenerate, and the fact that it can. I mean, he talked about the kidney transplant, and that was just an amazing story. But the body can regenerate if we give it the foundational building blocks that it needs. And Janice saw that real time in her life. She was an advocate for NeoLife. She got all her kids on it, her husband on it, and they were broke at the time. So, I mean, Chad jokingly says, NeoLife helped me not only with my health, but with my wealth, because I couldn't have done what I did over here financially without optimal health. And Chad's a whole nother story. It changed his life radically. But then Katie, their oldest daughter, Bob alluded to her earlier in the conversation. She started losing her hair right about the time she was, you know, interested in boys, which is a really bad timing, really bad timing, because she's going, oh, I want to, you know, find a husband, and now I'm becoming bald and my hair's falling out, which is a very embarrassing thing for a young lady. And she started researching online like all millennials do, and she was trying to find something that would help with hair. And her mother kept saying, Janice kept saying, you need to try NeoLife. And she goes, Mama, I have special problems. I have problems that are, NeoLife is a great supplement and all, and I'm glad it's, good for you, but I have special problems and I need special supplements because I have this hair issue. She found out about 6 months of trying all kinds of stuff that did not help her at all. In fact, made her feel crummy, gave her breakouts, made her sluggish. She came to her mother and said, okay, I'll try NeoLife. I'll try NeoLife. And she got her on a program, and her hair, of course, we all know hair is a combination of amino acids. We have the only 22 amino acid biologically available protein on the market, and she started taking these whole food supplements, and the foundation of her cells started to rebuild. And next thing you know, she's got beautiful, Bob will attest to it. She looks like a supermodel. She's absolutely gorgeous, had 3 children. And I constantly look at her like, what in the world? What genes did you get? You're gorgeous. She's just a beautiful girl. But she came to Mama and her mother, and she said, you know what? I needed special product. I just didn't realize how special NeoLife was. And it totally changed her life. And one of Janice's claim to fame, not only does she have a very good sized organization, she did over 40,000 points last month. But yeah, so she's killing it. Wow. But and that's a mother of 11 with hardly any time that she could dedicate to it. But she loves the product. And her big claim to fame is, I have 5 children that pay for the product out of their own pocket, meaning full-grown adults, married or moved out of the house, that are buying these supplements with their own money. So that attests to the value that they are receiving. Nobody buys something if they don't feel they're getting a benefit. Right. They stop buying if they don't feel that there's a reason for purchasing. Yeah. And every one of those kids every month is plopping down their hard-earned money from whatever their vocation is to buy supplements, because they've seen the power of the NeoLife supplements. And so I don't know if you wanted me to go on more stories. That's just some of my family. My dad's 84 and he runs circles around me. I don't know how he does it. The guy's absolutely amazing. He's sharp as a tack. My mother's in her mid 70s and she runs circles around me. They're just amazing people. A lot of you guys know them, but they have bought these products for 20 years and they take them consistently for the last 20 years. And when people ask him all the time, Daddy goes, well, it's healthy living, which it is. That guy's been a healthy guy his whole life. He's never allowed, he jokingly says, I never allow beer or soda in my fridge. And he doesn't. He will not let it in his house. But he also attests to NeoLife. He says, NeoLife has made me feel younger over the last 20 years than the 60 years prior, which is amazing to me. But I also wanted to share with you guys why I'm excited. And I'm super excited to see so many people from all over the world, because I think this next 5 years with NeoLife, we're going to see more growth than we've seen in NeoLife over the last 20 years. I think a lot more growth than the last 20 years. I think we're gonna go to a whole new level because of the fact that, number one, Kendra, when she came back on board, I interrogated her like crazy. She jokingly says, if I ever complimented her, it's a big compliment, because I was her hardest critic. I was very skeptical because I'm like, here, she's the daughter of the owner. Of course she gets the job, whatever, I'm not impressed. I want to know what she's going to bring to the table, and after meeting with her and looking at her library of books and who she's getting coached by, because who you're getting coached by is really important. I walked away going, this girl, if she's not the girl for the job now, will be. She's moving in the right direction quickly. She has the mental capacity to run the world. She's sharp as a tack, but she was young and green. But she got good coaching and she brought in some really good team members. But to me, the most important thing she did, she focused on the engine. She focused on the engine that is NeoLife. And one of the questions I asked her was, what kind of growth do you want to see over the next 10 years? And now looking back on it, I think that was a silly question, because the growth in NeoLife doesn't depend on Kendra. It depends on us. We're the ones that are driving the engine of growth. And so for her to say what she expected us to do is kind of like a wish. She was focusing on delivering the quality of products. We've seen so many new products come out with incredible results and incredible lab testing on them. I think she's going to continue building that foundation of trust with the customers, which is what NeoLife, to me, the value of NeoLife is that almost 63 years now, the pharmaceutical license, the no smudges on their record, the fact that they are a company of integrity, And Kendra is building on that platform more than anybody has in the past. I mean, she's really focused on that. And she rebuilt the whole website. This is an international website. There were all kinds of problems with that website. And I kept complaining to her about the problems on the website. And she goes, Dwight, it's going to take a little time, be patient, because we have to change it in 56 countries around the world. It's not just a mom and pop Etsy shop. You know, it's a massive mainframe that we're running this thing on, and it's a dinosaur. We got to update it. They have updated that whole mainframe. Now, when I tell her something needs to change, literally within 24 hours, it can change. It's amazing the ability they have to adapt now, because she built the infrastructure. She worked her tail off on the supply chain, and we are ready now at NeoLife to take this thing to a whole nother level. And I always say NeoLife, along with network marketing companies, really explode in times of uncertainty. During 2008, we saw massive growth in NeoLife. I wasn't even doing the business and it started growing underneath me. I was shocked by that. And I'm blown away by the fact that we're going into man-created, bad decision, global unrest. We look at people, you know, over 50% of small businesses went belly up last year. Over 50%. 50% is a conservative number. Those are people who put their life, blood, sweat, and tears into these companies, some of them for 10, 15 years. And they're gone by no fault of their own, just because the economy got shut down. And so I look at that and I go, do I want to put 10 to 15 years of my life into something that can just disappear in a heartbeat? I'd rather not, especially when I look at what my NeoLife business is doing. And it actually grew during the pandemic. It grew quite a bit during the pandemic. And so I look at it right now, the hospitals and government workers in the states along the Pacific Ocean, Washington, California, and Oregon, they're trying to force mandate vaccinations for all of their employees, which means we're going to get a whole lot of qualified people out in the workforce because they're not going to be able to keep their jobs. And that breaks my heart. But they're going to need options. They're going to need a plan B. These are people like my brother, who is a captain on the Corona Fire Department in Southern California. And he always told me, Dwight, I don't need a plan B. You know, it takes an act of Congress to fire me. I'm a government employee. I can't get fired. Well, he's waking up to the fact that that security is an illusion. And I think any security that's other than our faith in God is an illusion. But that being said, NeoLife has offered a platform for 63 years of solid quality product and a compensation plan that is the fairest I've ever seen in any network marketing company ever. They work really hard at building the foundation. And now I think we're prepared to go into the next 5 years. And I think I look at it this way: the best time to start a NeoLife business, just like the best time to get on the product, was 5 years ago. The next best time is now. And I think we're going to look back in 5 years and we're either going to be excited about the time and energy that we put in and the business that we've built, or we're going to be filled with regret for not taking advantage of the opportunity to help so many people. Because I think people are more open to it than they've ever been. I think it's easier than ever with the Zoom calls and the trainings online to be able to access the information, to be able to get the tools to build your business and be able to train the next generation in how to build NeoLife. I feel like it's easier than it's ever been. And so that's why I'm super excited about the next 5 years. I think it's a massive opportunity for us to step in and really start growing this thing, but we do it one person at a time. We do it one conversation at a time. And we help love on the people around us and bring them into the company, into the family, into the different teams that we have, and into the different groups, social media groups and whatnot. Back when we built this thing, Bob, I know you built it way before I did, but back when we built it, I mean, this was pretty, I didn't even have a smartphone. I had a dumb phone. You know, I had one that you could dial phone numbers, and texting was a nightmare. And so you think about the tools we have at our fingertip now, the fact that we're talking to people all around the country on a Zoom call, it's just amazing, the ability to reach people that we've never had before. And so I'm really excited. I've actually joked with Bob and a few others, if anybody wants to run a really awesome soap company I'm willing to hand it off right now because I want to focus on NeoLife. I want to help share the health benefits of these supplements because I've seen the power they have in people's lives, and I've seen the financial freedom that it can create because I have quite a few people in my organization now that are making $40,000 to $50,000 a year on the side. I mean, that is a real income. And so I'm excited to see the life-changing, not only of the product, but also of the opportunity in the business. Anyhow, I'm rambling at this point. Bob, do you have any questions or want me to cover something else?
Well, I think we could have some other people maybe ask some questions too, but Dwight, Joel and Gabby, Micah and Brian, you got one that's probably making around 100 grand on part-time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And would that one's mama be making 40 to 50 perhaps, would you say?
Yeah, I'd say at least 45 to 55,000. Yeah, conservatively. I know Brian and Micah are making more than that.
Oh my gosh. So when you think about making 40 to 50 part-time, and some of those would be like 5 to 10 hours, right? Or less in some cases. It's almost shocking, isn't it, to make that part-time?
It is. And it's funny because, Brian and I were having a conversation the other day, and his day job that he does, he makes good money doing it, but he runs the maintenance department for a large landscaping company. And he doesn't love what he does. He's done it for over 20 years and he's burnt out. He's tired of it. And he kept saying, I want to build my NeoLife business big enough to retire. And I go, no, you don't. And he goes, what do you mean? I said, you retire to expire. You don't want to do that. You want to have a bigger future. You want to have something you're working towards. And so what do you want to do? But money's in your way, meaning the lack of, if you were king for the day, that's my favorite question. If you were king for the day, and I think everyone should think about this, if you're king for the day, AKA money wasn't a stress point in your life, you had plenty of money coming in, what would you do with your time? What would you do to add value to those around you? What would you do for fun, whatever it may be? And Brian didn't even have to think about it. He said, well, I'd be a basketball coach. He loves playing basketball. All his free time, he's playing basketball. I'm like, why didn't you become a high school basketball coach? He said, they don't make enough money. And I said, perfect. So as soon as you get where NeoLife is covering your bases, go become a basketball coach. Go pursue your passion. Go do what you love doing. And you're accidentally going to help a lot of people get on NeoLife as a basketball coach because you're going to get them on the best supplements out there. I got a buddy who's a track coach. He got all of his cross country runners on the protein, and the other cross country coaches thought he was slipping them something because they got better and better and better. And when he told me it was a protein shake, they go, you can't drink a protein shake right before a run. And he goes, yes, you can when it's NeoLife's, because most protein shakes, you drink it right before a run, you're probably going to cramp up or leave it alongside the trail somewhere because it's not easy to digest. I take my protein shake right before a run and you can run great. It sustains your energy and you feel awesome because the protein's already been broken down. So anyhow, I just think really figuring out what it is that we're passionate about with NeoLife, and NeoLife could be that catalyst to free you up to do more of that. And so Dave Ramsey talks a lot, and a lot of you know who Dave Ramsey is, but he talks about $500 being the difference in most marriages, $500 a month. That is what causes the friction or causes the stress in a marriage, is that $500. And I jokingly say, yeah, it's 500 now. Once you make 500 more, it'll be another 500. but the deal is, most people are at 500 makes a big difference, and 500 is very easily obtainable. That's why I like that executive manager. That executive manager, in my mind, is the focal point on everybody in my team. Help people get to that executive manager and then turn around and help others get to that executive manager, and it will free you up. You'll go into director, sapphire, you'll just bump on up like there's no tomorrow, because it's all about helping your community and then turning around and helping their community. And that's what makes the difference. It's not, I talk to people all the time, they want to do sales funnels, they want to do online mass marketing. And I go, you know what? That's a fast way to get started, but that's a really miserable way to build a big foundation in a big company. And you were talking about just blanked on Charlie Bolton. And he used to do it. He didn't even have an iPhone back then. He did it with a pad of paper. And he just sat down with people and he walked them through the process, one person at a time. And now he has an income. And Bob, I've heard as high as $1 million a month. Just he's a massive organization. It blows my mind. Anything over 100 grand a month's probably more than I need anyway.
Yeah, I heard years ago that Charlie had sold 77 million in a year. I think it's way higher now.
Yeah.
John and Deb, or
Yes, yes. Thank you for calling us. I had just unmuted myself because, man, do I have a question for Dwight.
okay.
Because I know a lot of people, there are a lot of people here down in Grants Pass who are losing their jobs because vaccines are being mandated. There's a lot of fight against it and stuff like that. So I want to be able to point them to because I am not real good at sitting down with somebody and explaining, here's the business and here's how you can make money and all that. Because I listen to you, Dwight, and I go, oh my God, I wish I could be you for a little while, but and I know that Wisdom Builders, my God, what is his name?
Are you talking to Alan?
Yeah, Alan, thank you, Alan. Jeez. that Alan has put together a few things that you can send people to, and the company has too, because Josh has talked about, there's a few things. If you had somebody that was going, oh yeah, I need to make some more money and stuff, where would you send him?
I would give them the link to Income with Impact.
Income with Impact. Okay.
Yeah, that's my favorite. If they're interested in the product, I like the five key criteria, and that's
Right.
Lisa Whitman. She does a great job of breaking that down.
Right.
So that one's really powerful. And then the business one, I like the Income with Impact because it breaks down the opportunity in digestible form.
Okay, great. Because we use 5 key criteria. We get a lot of customers. But,
yeah.
And we have one good leg. He's on here today.
That's awesome. And it's so exciting. I never take for granted the people on our team that link arms with us because, I look back when Dr. Arthur First, I haven't had the opportunity to meet as many people in the company as Bob has because he's been around forever. But the one, I did get to meet Dr. Arthur First, and that was a huge impact on my life because he told me, he's like, Dwight, I want to thank you for doing the hard part. And I thought he had lost his marbles when he said that, because here's the guy who, his bronze bust is in the London Hall of Wisdom. The guy has worked on our carotenoids for 9 years before releasing the first jar. He's absolutely a legend. And he said, we did these products. We made these products that transform lives, that can reverse the aging process, that can reverse degenerative diseases. He was able to say things that the legal department won't let us say now. And he said, but they won't do anybody any good unless they put them in their mouth. And so whenever we can have somebody link arms, John, like you said, that person in your organization that has linked arms with you and is helping others, that is such a gift to the world, really, because they're helping spread good health to those that they love. And I get so excited. I look at who can I get to link arms with me? And what's exciting about this business is you don't know who's going to crush it. Like Bob Pearson said, Bolton got let go because he was incompetent or had no future, whatever it was. And yet he went on to build a massive impact over there in South Africa, just changed so many lives. And some of the stories, I love when the South Africans come to the World Convention. It was incredible to hear the stories that they were able to give. I mean, I walked out of that just my head buzzing with one of the gals talking about how she couldn't get a loan to start a small business. And now she owns the land that the bank is operating out of. She's the landowner for the bank, and I just started laughing. I'm the same bank that wouldn't give her a loan. And I'm like, I love those transformation stories. Those are awesome.
Yeah, great. I'm gonna start. I want to start talking to some people about they need to become more secure in their income. Great.
Yes.
Thank you.
So you guys got those tools. Dwight mentioned incomewithimpact.com.
Right.
You can text that to them on the phone. There's one called howthemoneyismade.com. And then two that Dwight mentioned for product is 5keycriteria.com. And the 5, you don't write out FIVE, is the number 5, and then keycriteria.com, all one word. And then the follow-up from that is 5keycriteriasolution.com. And Dwight, do you agree that the 3-day events are super important, like Wisdom Builder or Bald Eagle events? That's real important.
Yeah, our team would not be where it is today without those events. And what's awesome is, for those of you who haven't been to the events, they got a guinea pig on a lot of us who went to the events before they're very good. We always got good content out of them, but they have gotten so much better at cutting out the wasted time and focusing on the core of what it takes to really impact people's lives. And then, like I was saying earlier, the stories after the events or during the events, you never know who you're going to sit next to. You might be able to sit next to a Bob Pearson or a Charlie Bolton or someone like that. And the wealth of information that's sitting around the table is mind blowing. And so I always leave those events. It's funny, I don't ever want to go to them. I'm super busy with my company. I'm busy with my kids, and I have what I call my real estate addiction. And I have things that I love doing. I'm like, I don't want to go to this event right now. Man. And then I show up and I don't want to leave. I want to stay there for the rest of the year. I'm like, these are so much fun. I'm hanging out with people I love. I'm learning so much. The world is such a big opportunity. And then I go home and I tell my wife, I said, okay, we're never missing another event. We're never missing another event. And then next, 6 months later or 3 months later, there's an event. I'm like, oh man, we got to go to an event. But I absolutely love it. There's not one event that I look at ever that I didn't get value from it. Like, I always leave feeling I got massive amounts of value.
Great. So you guys, the next one is October 29th, 30th, and 31st. It's near Fresno, California. The deadline for registration, they want them, and I'm sure they'll take them after this, but they want them in by September 15th if there's still room. That's when Charlie Bolton is scheduled to be at. John Miller, the CEO and owner of the company, is going to be unbelievable. So we're hoping to have 10 to 20 of our team there. The next one after that is November 12th through 14th, and that's a Wisdom Builder event, which Dwight is part of that team. He's one of their top leaders in that team. And those guys realize that they don't want anyone in their team to go more than 90 days, is what I heard Alan and Josh saying, Dwight. So they have their fall retreat, and then rally is approximately 9 days later. And then 9 days later, they have their spring retreat. So Dwight's team does that twice a year, and then convention. So like every 90 days, because we all need re-exposure, re-excitement. They call that staying close to the campfire. And for those of you that are new on here that might not know this, the Josh Clark has a Facebook page called NeoLife Business Builders with Vice President of Sales Josh Clark. And there's interviews on that every week. I highly suggest watching those every week with leaders with great ideas. Then there's the Wisdom Builders Facebook page, which is the team Dwight is in. And every Friday they have a training, and that we're so fortunate they let us get on those because they have expert strategists in that team. Alan and Josh are some of the main ones. Now, Dwight, wouldn't you agree Jamie Summers is quite excellent too?
Jamie is amazing.
Yeah.
I look at her and go, my goodness, she's gold. Amazing as far as we just had a business training on Monday that we realized we had a lot of bugs to work out of. It went longer than we wanted it to. But that being said, we would circle back with Chelsea, Alan, and Jamie. And I got to see a side of Jamie I'd never seen before. And she's absolutely amazing. That girl is a whiz, and she is going places.
Yeah, she was, Alan said she was about a 3 Ruby size business with another company, and that company basically canned all their distributors, right? Right, Dwight?
That's exactly what they did. And I'll even say the name. It was Avocare.
Yeah.
And they pulled the rug out from underneath all their distributors. She'd been doing it for at least 10 years. I know other people have been doing it longer, and they really thought they were part of something solid. And what it came to is when the founder had passed away, he hadn't done a good job of handing it to the next generation. And when they ran in, they had been doing some things that were on the bordering unethical. And when they had to either pay the fines or get rid of the distributors, one of the two, they cut loose all their distributors and went to direct selling, and literally just obliterated what people had worked building their whole life. And so a really sad story. And she looked at hundreds of other network marketing companies because she believed in the concept, but none of them had what she felt was a product of integrity and a company of integrity. And she found NeoLife on her own and reached out to Alan and said, okay, I want to be part of this. So he got a gift by being out there and being as loud as he was. She found him, and then she swatted all of us and says, why aren't you telling people? Like there's so many people that need this information. But yeah, she's an amazing gift. In her second month, she's already was over 6,000 points. First month, 4,000, second month, 6,000. And she had to leave the meeting early that we were on because she had another presentation. She texted us a few minutes later and goes, got another club member. So she's really on fire, super excited.
And Dwight, isn't that a meeting that you guys are going to be doing once a month? Is it?
Yes. So what we realized is we bring them on through the presentations, and they get on the product and they start putting it in their mouth because they won't see a transformation unless they put it in their mouth. And then after that, some of them want to just be customers, and that's awesome. I love customers. They're wonderful. But some of them go, hey, I want to help others and I want to become a promoter. And that's when we push them over to the business training, which is the business basics. And it just kind of gives them a foundation of, okay, now you love this product and you want to share it. How do you go about doing that? And so that's what that 1 hour training is about.
Okay. And is that going to be it's an evening? I didn't quite catch what it's going to be. They don't know if it's first, second week because they were talking about that, right? But
yeah, he sent out something that said the 27th of this month. So it's going to be the 27th, which is a Monday. And he likes to do everything at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
That way people can remember the time. Everything he can, there are some things that aren't 6 o'clock, but if he keeps nailing 6 o'clock, it's easier to remember.
Yes. And do you know how they get on that?
That I don't. I got sent something. I could forward you the information, Bob, as soon as I get it.
Okay. Yeah, I was on it. It was very good. Excellent. It's Alan, Chelsea Clark, Dwight, and Jamie Summers. And
you better send it to us, Bob. You better send it to us.
Okay, I'll get it to everybody. It's a powerhouse time, and it's going to be monthly, which is wonderful. We appreciate Alan letting all of us get on there. And Dwight, I wanted to, in closing, unless anybody else has a question, Sigrid or Brent Ramona or Barbara or Les, anybody else, or Josh Kramer, anybody else have a question they want to ask Dwight? Because I got one last question. If you do, just go ahead. Sigrid has a hot one in her team. I tell you, she just got a brand new executive manager in her team. So that's exciting. And there's Joanne right there. Joanne, do you want to ask a question?
I do. Dwight, you mentioned two things. You mentioned a person that was taking something for hair. I'm always interested in that. And also you mentioned a person that had a hard time having children. So I know you mentioned vitamin E. Was that the only thing that she was taking, the vitamin E, or were there some other things added to it? So the hair and
the conception.
Yeah, you froze there. But yeah, the answer to the first question, the hair, I need to circle back with you on that. I do not remember exactly what the program was that she was taking. I know the protein had a big part of that because it's up 22 amino acids, and every part of our body is made up of a different combination of amino acids. So I do know that. Sorry, you there?
Dwight, I didn't hear anything you said because you're frozen. You froze for a bit. I can hear you now. Could you start over?
Yes, you bet.
Okay.
So I don't know exactly what the program was that they were taking for the hair. I need to get back to you on that information. I know that she was taking the protein because she talks about that quite a bit in her speech, but she didn't. I have not heard the other product she was taking. I know it was more than the protein, but I don't know what it is. And so I just be giving you misinformation if I try to make something up, and I don't like doing that. So I'll get you some information on that.
You can let me know. I always just add to it. I have some information. I just love to hear more and hear what other people are using to help clients with the hair. So.
Yes,
anyway.
definitely,
So
definitely.
when you
And
get the information, if you would share it with me, I would appreciate it.
I will, and I'll get a hold of you on that. And then
Okay.
same with the vitamin E. I know they were taking vitamin E. I know at the time they weren't really doing well financially. He was a fiddle lesson teacher at the time. You know, he's gone on to become quite a successful businessman, but he was teaching fiddle lessons and barely keeping a roof above their head. So I don't know what else, Bob, you might even know what else they took, but it was a long time ago that they were taking that vitamin E for sure. I don't know about other things.
Yeah, all I remember is the vitamin
Okay.
E. Dwight, you know Tony and Yvette Robertson, right?
Yes.
They couldn't conceive, and you know she's a pharmacist, and they'd had that issue for a while, and they were told take E and zinc, so they went on E and zinc from her pharmacy. Didn't change anything. So then when they joined NeoLife, they said, Louis, what do we do to increase chance of conception? He said E and zinc. And they said, no, we already tried that. Didn't change anything. He said, well, what kind did you use? From our pharmacy. So they went on the NeoLife, and they have 3 children now. So the E and the zinc. And then with Katie, what I was told is that she went on breakfast pack. That's what I was told. But Joanne, the amazing thing there is that, Dwight, is it okay, or should I not say the earnings?
You know, I'm okay with sharing other people's earnings. I don't like when people brag, but I love bragging about other people, you know, so I talk about people in my organization. I think it's weird when you just say that's kind of a weird thing, but to be able to be excited for somebody else, that's awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
So that one, Joanne, the one that her hair fell out, and she was only like 18, 19. And she was a volleyball coach, great athlete. And I was told she was having to take an hour or 2-hour naps a day. That's the one that last month she sold. And she's got 3 little kids. She's a homemaker, fantastic homemaker. She sold 27,000. Did you tell me last month? Right. 27. Yeah. And she's a busy young lady. She's doing awesome. And you know, Josh Clark, I was told, did her first shake party, we called them, remember? And you know, Joanne, you probably know about 3 for free. If we have 3 club members on auto ship for breakfast pack, then we get ours free. And I was told Katie got hers at the first show, you know, the very first one. So anyway,
I wanted to also add regarding hair. We have a fellow. All he takes is Pro Vitality. He doesn't want anything else. He is, well, and his wife tells us, wow, not only has his disposition changed, but his hair has grown back. And all he's doing is Pro Vitality. That was hair. And also, I remember a couple of months ago, you had Nada on here, and she talked about a lady that was not able to conceive and had actually lost her period. And basically I think it was her cousin or something. And basically all they did is gave her Tray-N-N, and she got her period back.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh.
Real quick in the comments, Bob.
Okay, thank you.
In the comments here, it says people are losing their hair due to the virus, which would be more of an immune disorder. And so that, once again, goes back to those carotenoid complex boosting immunity by 37.6%. That's going to make a massive difference. And then Leslie here I recommend Lipotropic and Tray-N-N along with the Pro Vitality and shakes for hair. It works. So that's a program that she's seen success with.
Okay, wonderful.
Okay, yeah. So I'm using that, but I'm still new with that product. So, you know, I just want to make sure that I'm giving them the right stuff. So Tray-N-N is one of the ones, Pro Vitality, and I wasn't the carotenoid though, you know?
Yeah, and well, in the Pro Vitality, you have one Tray-N-N and
the
one
shakes.
carotenoid. And so you do have I love the Pro Vitality, but I always tell people add carotenoid, add salmon oil. Like, I just feel like add 2 more of each, buy a bottle of each, add 2 more of each. It's really going to give you a better benefit than just the Pro Vitality. But the basic foundation of just getting started for most people is important. So just get them on the Pro Vitality. But as soon as they can add it, I recommend adding it.
Okay, you guys,
yeah, that protein is good too.
Yeah, it is.
Go ahead.
You guys, let's give Dwight a big hand because it's so gracious of him to come on here and share his time and expertise. Thank you so much, Dwight. We appreciate it greatly.
Thank you, Dwight. Thank you. Hugs and
Thank
kisses
you.
to Marilee.
I'll do that.
Okay.
I'm sure you will.
Okay. We're
But
gonna,
thank you guys.
oh, thank you so much, Dwight. You lend so much credibility to the business and bring a lot of substance power. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
You bet. And then do I need to, yeah, I'll just leave here and let you guys go on.
Okay.
Hey, thank you guys so much. And I love seeing all the faces. You guys are excited about what you're doing. And I'm passionate about the opportunity that's in front of you. I think you guys are going to knock it out of the ballpark. So keep up the good work, guys.
Thanks for helping us, Dwight. Thank you so much for your help.
Anytime. See you guys.
Okay, bye. Now, you guys, Joanne, I want to interview Joanne just for a few minutes. Joanne, that was talking to Dwight there. She has been in not too long, and last month she hit executive manager, you guys, 2,000, and she's on 2 national leaderboards for Achiever Club points. She's doing great, and she would be one example of benefits of going to a convention for sure. She went to her first convention. Here she is at 2,000 points last month. So Joanne, just tell us briefly what your experience was like at convention. Did that help sell you on the company because of how you felt there? Or can you tell us just briefly what that experience was like for you?
Well, I think product knowledge is always good. And, you know, I really like understanding the science behind any of the products that I use. So I don't just pull out products just to give my customers. I've already looked into it, investigated to find out what's really going to work for them. I'm really big on health. I am working on my practitioner's license right now, so that I can turn my treatment center, my hair salon, into a wellness center more so. Because what I see, a lot of the problems that exist today are tied to health. Either people have problems with their digestive system or whatever. So when I went to the event, they talked about a lot of things that really interest me and that could help my clients and myself and my husband and the whole 9 yards. So really all the things that's going on today with our hair, when we see problems with our hair, we have to consider our health. So that's where I am. I recognize that I have to incorporate healthy nutrition, healthy vitamins, supplements, healthy eating in order for the hair to thrive. And it won't thrive if people aren't doing all of those things. You can't just do one thing and expect your hair to grow. You have to change your diet. You have to have good nutrients. So I've been looking for a good company to add very good supplements. And so I think I found it. And so I'm using it personally myself. So anything I recommend to my clients, I do myself. So I don't just give it to them. I take it myself to see how I'm feeling. And so we'll see. Right now, my husband is taking something for cancer. The doctors aren't giving him any real good, let's say, reports that what they're going to do is going to make his life better. It'll give him, they said, longevity, but he's going to be in pain most of the time. We're not having that. So anyway, so that's where I'm at this point. He's doing well. He's not in pain. He has a good quality of life and he's not sick. Okay. So we're just going to keep doing what we're doing. And hopefully we have a real good report when he goes back to the doctor, and hopefully his tumor has shrunk. But right now he's using choroidinoid. I'm probably not pronouncing it correctly. He's doing Beta-Guard. He's doing Beta-Guard. He's doing a lot of the other supplements. I can't think of all of them. He's doing zinc. So he's doing a number of things. And so we look forward to seeing, hoping that he will get better. And right now we're seeing the signs where he is feeling better. He's looking better. And so he's doing good. I mean, he goes and he has a good quality of life, and that's where he is. And he's 81 years old. So he's on no medication at all. So that's pretty outstanding. So the only thing he's on right now are the supplements, and right now they're doing great for him.
Yeah, he's very, very enjoyable, man. I was very privileged to have lunch with Joanne and Barbara and her husband, Bill, and a few other friends at convention. Very enjoyable, man. So we want the best for him for sure. And Joanne, since you are on both national leaderboards, that means you signed up. Would you have signed up maybe 6 to 10 people, I'm guessing, or even up to 12 maybe, or?
I think I have signed up maybe 6 or 8 people. And basically what I've done, I look to see what kind of problems people are having, and they're not having real good success with medication. So I'll say, hey, I'll give them the information. I'll give them the 5 criteria for nutrition. And I'm looking for other videos. So you've shared some with me. So I'm just looking to give people real good quality things that will help them. I have a customer that was having burning pain in her leg. She's had surgery, and actually she told me the burning has really stopped. She's not burning anymore. Her husband has neuropathy, and he ran 5 miles a couple of weeks ago. And after that, a day later, he went to Disneyland. So trust me, the product does work, and that's what I wanted to hear. And I was like, I was kind of nervous because you don't always know whether or not these things are really going to help, right away, or if people are going to take it, because sometimes people don't take the supplements, but they're taking the supplements. And he said he didn't know what was in that stuff. He used another word. He said, but it's working. And so he was pretty happy with it. So we'll see, So I checked with them just to see how they're doing. And she was in here just recently, and she said she's not in pain like she was prior to taking it. So that's a real big plus. And so that's another feather in NeoLife's cap, as far as I'm concerned.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, we congratulate you on 2,000 points, new executive manager. We're going to read all our recognition very shortly. Allison, are you still there? Because I just want you to share, if you can, just 1 to 2 minutes, and then we'll switch to recognition on Dorothy Carson, what kind of results she's had. I know she's had some weight loss and I think energy. Allison, are you still there? Okay. Well, I just want to close with this, and then we'll do recognition that Joanne Martins was a homemaker in the 70s, and Bob Shar was our vice president back then, who is what Josh Clark does now. And the home office is in the Bay Area, California, and Bob met with all the distributors in the Bay Area. I said, every Wednesday, I'm going to do an appointment at this time, presentation. You can bring people, we'll sign them up. Joanne's the only one that brought people every week, 1 or 2. And she's got developed into a 3-diamond team. So we have the same thing now. We have a presentation every Tuesday with Alan Blaine, extremely gifted presenter. Then Wednesdays, we have the one Tuesday, 6 p.m., only half an hour. The one Wednesday, 5:30 p.m., it's an hour of training. And if you have your list of names that you want to expose to what we have, then you just bring one person every week. That's what those presentations are for, 1 or 2 every week. And you can build a big team. Then be sure to get on registered for Louis' event, October 29th, 30th, and 31st. Fabulous training that will make you more effective and empower you to impact way more lives and have financial dreams come true, become reality as well. So now we're going to switch to recognition. And because we're so grateful for everyone who has contributed, we won't read every name on here because I'm going to focus more on the people who are actually on here, because we have a lot on the list that contributed but who are not on. And you guys remember at 11 o'clock, we're going to start an hour of training, and that Zoom is 963-644-1807. Password ATP, and Debbie Muzak will be the main presenter, and I'll carry over what she doesn't cover. So that'll be starting 11 to 12. So right now, we're going to start. We're very grateful to Josh and Sam Kramer. They have a very strong, consistent team. They did 1,169 points last month, so we're very grateful for that. Then we have Nancy Reese in Grants Pass with 1,343 points last month. We're grateful for that. Alice Tornquist is on, and she did 1,660 points. She's in New Jersey. Lisa Hansen is on. She did 1,835 points last month. That's a nice volume. Joanne Washington, we just heard from Joanne. She did 2,000, so she's brand new executive manager, and she is on both national leaderboards for Achiever Club points. She's number 12 for the monthly top 20, and she was number 20 for the quarter with 27 points. So she's only 3 points shy of a silver medal. Then we have Brent and Ramona on here, 2,082 points. We have Allison on here with 2,465 points back in New York. Then we have Sigrid Simpson on here. Joanne Washington is in Sigrid's downline, and Sigrid's group did 2,703 points there. That's exciting. And then we have, and Sigrid has young children too. So you guys, our friends that are wonderful, fabulous moms and homemakers, this is an opportunity they can do any hours they want. It's so much nicer than a job, because the job, they have to be down at that job when the boss says you got to be here. Then they got to arrange daycare and all that stuff. None of that has to be done in NeoLife. And we have moms doing our business that are bringing in as much as $100 grand a year part-time. That's one that's in Josh's team. I mean, Dwight's team. That's incredible. So this is ideal business for people with young kids. Mark Ritchie in Iowa, 4,017 points. Jolene Cox in Portland, 4,093 points. Jamie and Carol Wilson in Grants Pass, 5,360 points. We're very grateful for those two. Then Gina Ellis in Wisconsin, 5,469 points. John and Debbie in Grants Pass. We're going to tell John and Debbie's group points shortly, but this is for personal. 8,442 points. That's a lot of personal volume, guys. That is very, very good. Leslie Hansen, personal points, 9,776 points. Then we have Barbara Chichester. She's in number 4 position, 12,714 points. That's great. Then Stephanie Beckett, number 3, 13,367 points. Then Victor Pearson in number 2 position, 14,238 points. And then surprise, surprise, in number 1, I can see him right now. He's a very talented, sharp young man, good entrepreneur. Before I tell you his points, I'll tell you he's number 8 on the monthly top 20 with 30 points. That's just for 1 month. That's a silver. Then he's number 3 on the top 20 for quarter with 78 points. So that is almost enough for 2 gold medals, not just 1, but 2. And his volume for last month, outstanding month, you guys, listen to this, 21,446 points, you guys. So Daniel's number 1 for personal volume. And poor Daniel, he has to have $1,000 car allowance this month. You guys, just the car allowance alone, 1,000. Do you know anywhere you can spend that, Daniel?
I can buy like 500 tubs of ice cream. Just kidding.
Because he's into nutrition. He's showing his bent towards nutrition.
That just makes the product consumption go up too. So be happy about that.
Okay, that is outstanding job, Daniel. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That is outstanding. We're very, very impressed. So good job. So now we're going to switch. Daniel's a huge contributor to the team. I'll tell you that, just massive. Now we're going to group volume now. And John and Debbie were at 13,802. So just shy of 14, that's outstanding. Then we jump to number 3 position for group PB, and that's Leslie Hansen, 36,691 points. That's outstanding. Quite a month there, almost 37. That's quite a month. Victor Pearson's in number 2, 40,319 points. And then Marilee Blomberg, she has my dad's team. And that team finished with a very good month, 81,010 points, you guys. So that's absolutely, it was a great month. We're grateful to everyone here, contribution. The team can't do good with just 1 or 2. All of us can make quite an impact. So congratulations to everyone. We thank you for your hard work, your involvement. And we wish you a fantastic month. Plug into the Tuesday and Wednesday meetings. Get registered for the Louis event. You'll get to hear a legendary presenter, Charlie Bolton, the guy that got fired. And last I heard, his sales for the year were 77 million. I think they're way higher than that now. So that's going to be a fantastic event. And then we'll see many of you at 11. Deb will start that out, and then I'll finish up. And 963-644-1807, password ATP. So thanks, you guys. You guys have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for joining us. And we're grateful to Dwight, that's for sure, for lending his success and wisdom and perception and the phenomenal stories. You guys have a great day. See you some of you at 11. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye, Allison.
Bye, thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye all.
Bye.
Thank you. You did a great job as usual.
See you in a half an hour.
Yeah, see you in half an hour. Thanks, Nancy, for prayer.
Thank you, Bob. God bless you.
Thank
You
you.
too.
Nice job, Nancy.
Thank you. Hi, Barbara.
Look at those kids. That is cute. That is cute. Wow.
Aw,
Hi, Tony and Linda.
Congratulations, Daniel.
thank you,
Beard looking
Barbara.
good, Tony. Beard
Hey,
looks good.
Daniel, good job.
Great.
Thanks.
I think Tony and Linda know Hansons. Don't you guys? Tony and Linda? I think they do. Yep. Yep. All right, you guys. Well, any last comments from anyone? Here we got a few of us still on here. That's a nice looking gang there at Hanson's house, the cuties. Joanne's still on. Tony and Linda, they have owned 2 very successful businesses. You guys can unmute if you want, Tony and Linda. It's there. You go.
There we
See
go.
everybody.
So you sold the wine touring company, right? You sold
No.
that,
We did.
but you still have the CPA practice.
The CPA, yeah.
Okay. And how are things in Walla Walla?